Welcome back to the show, everybody. We're in LeSueur, Minnesota. We have an IH feature this year, and I've already found an interesting one down here on the end to look at. So it's in the line with the Farmall regulars. Here's a regular right here. Wide stance. We've got the disconnected transmission, rear end from the engine, all the open geared steering at the front. But then we look at this one. It's got all the cues for a regular exhaust manifold, regular carb. I like the drip tray that they put so that anything that leaks doesn't find the outlet of the exhaust where all the explosions and fire are happening. So we relocated just a few inches off to the side. It'll be fine. But okay, we're a wide front, which makes it a bit odd. We've got the steel wheels at the back. They're the open construction style, like a skeleton wheel. We've got those spade lugs. It's a self-cleaning wheel, basically. You could run these in mud, muck, gumbo, and all the sticky stuff would just keep being pushed out through the open holes in the center, and you wouldn't plug your spades up and you'd keep traction. But the front here, we've got the wide front, which makes it very odd to see on a regular because they were just about all narrows like that. It still has the pulleys here, all right, where a normal regular would have all of these cables, all right, that would run from the steering and back to your brakes, which would auto-engage a brake on an inside wheel if you turned far enough. So remnants of that mechanism are still in place. Here's the old lever that the cables would attach to, but we've got the wide front, which is definitely factory. We've got the bump stop springs for the oscillation, all right. But we've got the enclosed steering gear box up at the top. And I know this is a very rare feature. It is all IH original stuff. Like I said, typically on a regular, you see all the open gearing like that. So that makes it rather unique. Another cue that it's got that drew my eye to it immediately is it's a lot narrower than a standard regular. So you've got your rear axle housing goes out, and it's got the iconic bubble rear diff cover, but you can see how in comparison to this one, that's what a regular should look like. It's so much wider. It's got a much wider drawbar swing plate. This one's just all around narrower. It's really neat. We've got a PTO, sticks out the bottom at the back. We've got another interesting feature about this one. We've got this extra lever right here, okay? Goes down to, this is a Irregular overdrive gearbox unit. So they put this, it's like a 2-speed overdrive they put in line basically between your clutch housing and the input to the transmission. So why you would want to have an overdrive on a steel wheeled tractor like this is a bit beyond me. I would think top third gear standard would be would be plenty, but that's another interesting feature. And there's the Irregular tag right on the front of that overdrive 2-speed gearbox. Very interesting. We've got the little cast foot peg right there, and then of course your standard gear shift. These fenders, I don't know what to think about, if they were original to this or not. Some rather clean manufacturing was done. They look well on there, or they fit well, sorry. Clutch pedal showing quite a lot of wear, both in the pivot and on the face. Get your brake handle right there, pretty typical. And 2 levers up here. One is going to be spark advance, one is going to be throttle. You can follow the linkage on down the hood. So this pivot goes to this rod that passes through down to the mag. That'd be your spark advance, and then the other rod goes up here to the pivot, and over there to basically kind of a governor linkage that would extend down to the carburetor.
Hold it behind your power shoulder.
So I had to stop briefly to bypass the announcer man, but anyway, picking up where we left off, flat belt drive for the fan. Here's your oil pressure gauge. Might be visible from the operator's platform, maybe not. It's there anyhow. So another interesting feature, we've got this support that goes down under the engine at the front with these brace rods that go up, and that's to support your wishbone for the wide front axle. Once again, the standard narrow front F30 does not have that. Looking at the front wheels, I also noticed they're supposed to be riveted but you also see a lot of bolts in. So I'm thinking over the years, those spoke rivets loosened up and they just started replacing them with bolts. You can see a few, like a bolt, you know, randomly spaced over here, different areas as well. But very, very neat old machine. Here you can see how the spade lugs attach with these little brackets and a through bolt, or a stud with a nut on there. They just basically clamp right on, which is very interesting. And some of the old decals left in place. It's getting kind of hard to read some of them. This says disengage, something pulley. It's getting a little bit hard to read, but on a little gasoline kicker tank right there. Some of that original stuff still in place. But if you all know exactly what model this is, post up down below. It's very interesting. It's very cool. Right up to this front steering support housing, it's also different because we have this bolt flange at the top that then holds that cover. Whereas you look at the standard regular, you don't have any of that. It's a completely different upright with the clamp on section for the upper quadrant. It's just, everything about this is just a little bit odd. But I really, really like it. It's way cool. So if you all know exactly what it is, post up below. Educate me, please. So hope you all enjoyed the walk around. I thank you all for watching.